This is Umar for BoxNation in association with Global Next Trade, and the source has arrived in the kingdom.
Yes.
How are we, Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm good. Really excited by this event. It looks fun. It looks fun. I can't wait for the fights to start.
Yeah, let's give the viewers a bit of context. We're at a BoxRaw open sparring club, essentially, where fighters can come and put themselves in a position where they can land themselves in a Ring magazine or Riyadh season show.
Oh, really? Is that the? And okay, I didn't know that.
So they started it in New York, and His Excellency's just basically said, if anyone impresses, you might land yourself on a show.
Oh, nice. That's a good one. So they're going to put even more on the line. So yeah, it's good.
Lawrence, what's the latest with you, like, in terms of Queensbury and Frank? What they're saying about your next movement?
Oh, we actually have a meeting this weekend, so I'll be able to answer that question a lot better after that meeting. But everything's as it was. You know, you're number one ranked. You have to wait to see what Usyk does, see where the chips lay. So we'll see what happens.
There are several of you guys, in terms of yourself, Cabello, Parker, Derek, all waiting in that number one spot with the respective bodies. In the meantime, you will want to fight, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Do you think you're being avoided?
Yes and no. Yes. However, with a lot of them, I understand why, if that makes sense. Because, for example, the position I'm in, I could just say, I'm number one, I'll just beat a world champion, I could just chill, and you just know that your time will come. So I feel like a lot of them are in that situation where it's like, why take a risky fight at this stage when you can just wait and then have your shot or get elevated to world champion? So, yeah.
Did you guys push for the Cabello fight? He's going to have a homecoming in Germany?
Yes, we did. Obviously, I got injured in my last fight, so it would be disingenuous to say I've been pushing since my last fight. But beforehand, yeah, 100%. But as I said, he's in a situation where he's going to be thinking to himself, why am I boxing now? I want to box Usyk. So until Usyk says, I'm not boxing you, he's kind of in there waiting, thinking he might get a shot. So it's a tough one.
So a name I actually forgot to mention who's waiting in line as well.
Fabio Wardley.
There you go.
Yeah. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also one, yeah.
You want that fight?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, it's like, the reality is, when you're winning, it's anyone. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I won my last fight, so it means that they can offer anyone, and then you go again. So Fabio is part of that top heavyweight boxers. So yeah.
Okay. I've heard from Frank Warren that Usyk's asked for an extension in terms of the Joseph Parker situation. Do you think he'll vacate?
I do, but then what I'm scared of is that he'll vacate and then maybe defend against someone else and then do 3 time undisputed and just keep the belts for another.
If he did that, we should all give up on him.
Yeah, just like, mate, just you've had enough, man. You had a great career. Because you know what it is? It's the same thing that probably happened when Klitschko was champion and so on. They hold the belts, and it's like, if you're a mandatory or interim, you got to wait 2 years, a year and a half to even get your shot. So it's a interesting one, but we'll see. He said he had 2 more fights, but he looks very good in his last fight, so he might think to himself 2 more. So I don't know, we'll see.
Aside from Usyk though, like the names I just mentioned to you, are all like waiting for that call.
Yeah,
it's an interesting time in the division.
No, agreed, but it's like, so the day that Usyk says I retire, it opens up the division, of course, because there'll be 4 new champions, new opportunities for unifications, new opportunities for undisputed, and then there's a whole new crop who you haven't seen necessarily fight each other, and how does this one match up with that one, and then you go from there. Because with Usyk, it's a bit, there's only certain fights you want to see him in now, but yeah, we'll see.
Let me throw a bit of a curveball in. To be fair, it's not much of a curveball because His Excellency said he wants to actually see this. If Moses gets through Saturday, he wants to see Usyk and Moses next. What if he kind of leapfrogs all of you, Moses, and gets that shot?
Well, then that would be that. Do you know what I mean? We'll all complain, but it'll be what it is, isn't it?
Do you think, how does that fight go, Usyk and Moses now?
You'd say Usyk would win that fight because, like, Usyk's doing what Usyk does. You know what I mean? I really rate Moses. So I'll be lying if I said I didn't. However, watching Usyk beat Klitschko, it's not. I don't even want to make the comparison because I think that Moses has the potential to be very, very, very good, but Usyk is right now the best that we see at the moment. So I even wouldn't want to see that fight for Moses anyway, but whatever.
Okay, fair enough. In terms of Saturday night then, how do you see this panning out?
I think it depends. Do you know what I mean? When I think about it really, I just think that Moses will be a bit too sharp and a bit too good at boxing for Dillian. Like, Dillian is a great, like, rugged fighter that knows how to sort of fug it out, block counter, go to work. His whole thing is being a big beast. He's lost a lot of weight for this fight. I hope he's not trying to outbox him or whatever else. So I do see Moses just being able to land, and if Moses can land, he'll be able to stop him. So I think that Moses gets the stoppage in the middle rounds.
I saw the Ring magazine sort of did a word association with Dillian. I'm not sure if you saw it, and your name came up, and he was just like, next question.
Yeah. What? You said next question. What am I supposed to say to that? Do you know what I mean? Next question. All right, cool.
What have you made of his attitude then into this build-up? Because until actually yesterday, he was just kind of like, oh, you guys have all written me off, I'm cannon fodder being thrown to Moses. And then he went on TalkSport yesterday and said, actually, if anyone wants it from Moses' team, I'll F all of you up right now.
Yeah, but it's a bit too little too late in my opinion. I think it's a bit, to be fair, like, he's had a great career, do you know what I mean? He's been in there with some big fights, big whatever. But I kind of think it's a little bit like, it's a safe place to be, just embracing the underdog thing. I'm just because it's the wrong energy to go into a fight like this with. You kind of got to go in. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to but you don't want to. Words are very powerful. You don't want to keep saying over and over again, I'm an old man, I'm a this, I'm a that. Because it kind of, if Moses is able to do it, you're kind of taking his win, and also I don't like it personally, but it is what it is. It's not my fight.
From when you've sparred Moses, what's the most special thing about him?
I think it's actually, what would I say was the best thing about him? I think it's his actual, it's a mix between bravery and...
Bravery?
Yeah, bravery.
Okay, I've not heard that word be associated with it.
So for example, when me and him was, I remember he was much younger, but for example, when someone, like for example, I know that I punch hard, especially, I punch hard, right? So it's like, for me, you're in there with someone who you know can punch hard. He's been in there with Dan. Obviously he's a heavyweight, but he's been in there with the top guys, and he's not afraid to sort of stay in the pocket and sort of slip and come back with shots. So, although that's boxing, it's also having the sort of temperament to be able to be in the fire and work there. So yeah, that's what I would say. Do you know what I mean? Everything else is he's a fast, powerful guy, but it's like, so what? He's a southpaw, and he's got good decision making, is what I'd say.
Lastly, what's your gut prediction?
Gut prediction, I think that, Dillian's been hurt by every top guy that he's ever boxed. He's won some of those fights where he's been hurt, but I think that this one will be it's just a little bit too late. And if Moses hurts him early, I think Moses hits him out. And maybe not. I'm not saying first, second. I'm saying middle rounds. Once they both start getting comfortable, yeah, I do see it being stoppage.
Okay, Lawrence. Well, listen, when you do have some news from Queensbury, we'll have another catch up.
Much love.
Take care. New money.
Live only on DAZN, August 16th. Moses Itauma, the next heavyweight superstar, faces his greatest challenge, Dillian Whyte. Back to remind the world he's not done yet. Itauma versus Whyte. Click the link in the description to buy now.